Okay, my name is Dashuan Feng. I am the chair of Hainan University's International Advisory Board. We have a group of about 20 people from all over the world, of which four of them are Nobel laureates. Um, and the reason why we are having this particular forum today was because about 7 years ago or 6 years ago, we had our first International Advisory Board meeting, and the university took us to the various colleges just to let us understand a little bit more about the university. Of all the colleges I visited, I must say that the International Tourist College was the one that gave me the deepest impression. And already at that time, they told us that they are already in, in collaboration with Arizona State University in this joint exchange program where students can go back and forth. And I understand that so far we have only Hainan University students going to ASU, and we hope soon there will be ASU students going to Hainan as well, so that this is truly a cross civilization organization. ASU, of course, it turns out that I know quite a bit about ASU, not because I ever had any honor of being a faculty or a student there, but the university that I worked for, which was University of Texas at Dallas, had a competition of a $100 million competition of soft electronics with the Army, U.S. Army. And it's a $100 million project. And we were down to the last two after many, many competitions, and where the other universities were simply fired, let go. The last two was ASU and UT Dallas. And what I would say now is that the only reason, I mean, technically they're about the same, but the only reason why ASU got the project, in my opinion, was because they have a president that is just wouldn't let go. And they won this hands down finally. And so I know quite a bit about ASU, and I know ASU's gusto, so to speak. And I'm so happy when I learned that Hainan University, that I'm the chairman of the International Advisory Board, is working so closely with ASU. In fact, ASU's sign is right outside of their college, as you probably know, Kelly. You may have been there once. So, so today, why don't we begin? Since, as I said to everyone, the Chinese tradition is, today at least, Kelly is our guest. So we will ask our guest to speak first. So Kelly, the screen is yours.
Thank you so much. It's certainly a pleasure to be here and a pleasure to be invited to this prestigious forum, and excited to be sharing thoughts and ideas about what makes high tech successful. And certainly success is not measured by an end game, but a continuous progression, right? And so I've thought about some things in my tenure with high tech, which has been just about 4 years now. What I
By the way,
see
you may want
as
to tell people what high tech is, not high technology, but what is high tech?
high tech is a international joint college with Hainan University
No, high
serving
tech stands for what?
Hainan, Arizona State International Joint Tourism College.
Great. That's your high tech.
That's our high tech. Yeah. Okay. And certainly the things that come to mind have been strong institutional collaboration. We could never do this without uniting two very different institutions and having the support all the way up to the president's office. And I think part of this is academic partnership. where the integration of both ASU, institutional knowledge and processes meet with Hainan University institutional knowledge and processes. And this, of course, is an ongoing endeavor. We strive to be flexible on both ends as much as we can. And I think working with two schools, two very different schools, that of public administration and that of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism in the School of Community Resources and Development are ways that we connect on the ground. We have a extremely creative and innovative collaboration in that we find flexibility where we can. We develop procedures that are unique to high tech to make things work. And I think that flexibility on both institutions' side really have helped this program soar. I think there's also a lot of cross-cultural learning that occurs. And this is because not only do we blend two very different institutions, it's because of the international faculty that both Hainan and ASU hire. I think on the ASU side, we represent 8 countries plus, and may be representing more in the future. So I think that international piece is really critical to fostering this cross-cultural understanding, because each faculty member bring with them a culture of their own, a culture from which they came, and integrate that into their teaching style as well as their learning and traditions. So that makes it very exciting for students, and certainly very exciting as an international joint college. I think the second thing that I'd highlight is our curriculum and the fact that we both seek accreditation where we can for each individual program, which raises the standard of our programs. We subscribe to a couple of different accreditation processes at ASU, and these processes give us the opportunity to be at par or better with ASU institutions. And I think there's complementary curriculum alignment in this way. The program integrates both ASU's world-class tourism, parks and recreation, and public administration curriculums, but also those with geography and hospitality and public policy on the Hainan side. And they're very complementary, which provides students a wider range of opportunities to learn and integrate their critical thinking skills. I think the third thing I want to bring up, and something that's very important to my heart and to successes that I've seen in other institutions, is our experiential learning and industry connectivity. Hainan is first a wonderful location for students to branch out into their respective fields because they're all represented in Hainan. So we have access to professionals in the field, we have access to programs, to research, to large organizations that are out doing the work that we are helping our students learn. So internships and industry partners becomes a really viable and collectively beneficial connection for our students. I'd say also doing field work and integrating research and case studies into what students learn in the classroom is also very important. And as a result, our students as undergrads are publishing in top-tier journals. So we see that as a sign of integration with research and practice, but also bringing that into the classroom where students find success. We have a lot of opportunities for guest lectures and networking, and we've all made a commitment, a joint commitment to developing the whole student. And one example of developing the whole student is an interesting program that we united on last year as a pilot. It's called You First. meaning student first, but also university first. And in U First, first year students have the opportunity to learn about team building, about charting their own course, about the natural and cultural amenities that Hainan brings to them as a campus located on Hainan Island. So we've seen great success with that. This is the second year. We've doubled the capacity. We hope to continue to grow that program, but students have found that to be a very meaningful part of their education. We also have co-curricular committees that work on how do we engage a student outside of the classroom experience. And for example, our faculty have created Tea with a Teacher to sit down and actually talk about the world, about students' ambitions, and on a different level, not from teacher to classroom, but on a one-to-one level. And we think this program has helped create a sense of belonging. It's given voice to first-year students, and it enhances our faculty's understanding of students at Hainan. Fourth, we can't do it alone. It takes an excellent faculty to deliver the curriculum, to be engaged with our students, and certainly our faculty's teaching ability and research strength is very high. And we feel like we have a world-class faculty, and we take that job of hiring very seriously in both institutions. And I think that's helped create this amazing team that we have on board. We do cutting edge research. People are publishing not only with students, but they're also publishing their research in top tier journals. We have student support, and we have global mobility in our students. And the student support team is quite large, and we like it because we find that being on the ground and offering students conduits to what's important to them, their health and well-being, is really key. We also have students that study abroad and are very successful at getting placements all over the world, including ASU, which we value very highly. We also focus on emerging trends and innovation. And I think considering some of the conferences that have been at High Tech and the institutes that we've held, we're trying to stay ahead of the curve with top information on national park development, critical tourism, and thinking about critical tourism. And these international events have brought scholars from all over the world and also knowledge from all over the world to give Hainan context in their place in the world. So I think these are really important. And lastly, I'll mention a couple more things that I think have been very successful. And one is developing our alumni network. We started very seriously last year. We're going to continue to grow that alumni network because they are the professionals now out in the field and bring wonderful lessons back to our students. We also know that developing student career pathways instead of jobs is really critical. So where do you see yourself upon graduation? What do you think about 5 years from now? And that forward-thinking career track pathway, I think, has been helpful for students in the classroom. And I think I'll end there, but I appreciate the time. I have lots more ideas, but maybe we can have a discussion a little bit later. So back to you, Dr. Fang. Thank you.
Fantastic. Great summary. Well, Dean Huang, the screen is yours.
Okay, hello everyone. How are you? I'm Dean Wang, sorry, I'm Lin Wang, now the dean of this college, which Kelly just now introduced. It's a kind of joint college between two universities. One is from China, Hainan University, and the other one is from the US, Arizona State University. So far, I think we from 2017, it was set up, and we have enrolled 8 cohort of the student. Maybe if you like, I will introduce more. And here is my friend, actually also the tutor of in our college for the student or advisory for the student, Mr. David Chong. I think we will have some conversation about our college.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So the purpose of this
Let me say something about David.
Okay.
I met David just about a few months ago when I was at one of the International Advisory Board meeting. For some reason, Dean Wang insisted that I must meet with him. And so somehow, through all kinds of organization, we finally had lunch together. And I found out there's something about him that I like very, very much. First of all, he did his undergraduate at Columbia University. And I was, of course, an undergrad in a little liberal arts college in New Jersey called Drew University. And he told me that he played the Columbia soccer team and beat Drew University quite badly. So I liked him ever since. So go ahead, David.
So thank you for that introduction. Today, what we're going to try to do is have Dean Linda Wang share with us what it was like setting up the joint program, as well as the motivation and the purpose of the program. So let's go back in time. You said 2017 you set it up. Tell us how that joint program came about. What did you have to do to set it up?
Yeah, maybe we will go back to 2016 when Hainan University makes the decision to set up this international joint college, because the Hainan was taken there was like a very high strategic plan to build Hainan as an international destination. So there was also a very big plan, strategic plan to build an international joint college on tourism management. So Hainan University began this work in 2016 when I was just came off from the position of the Dean of Tourism College and became the director of the international office of Hainan University. So we began firstly to look for possible or potential partners. I still remember I sent out about like 30 letters with a proposal about this new joint college. And also I visited some other similar colleges in other universities in China. And although it was the first one in Hainan, but actually there were some already similar colleges in other universities. So have some very, very good experiences. So we began to look for the potential partners. We sent out so many letters, and finally we have some potential partners, possible partners for our future collaboration. So then we visited several universities, including ASU. And finally, after our meeting, some talking, some conversation, we just found out we might be the good two sides. We share lots of similar values or like plans for future. So we began to make the decision to set up this new college. Of course, there are many other things we have to do. The biggest one is to make an agreement. So we talked a lot. And finally, we made this. I think there was some PowerPoint. And with the first, you see, this is a college between two universities, and we have our goals, our mission.
You have to show your slides.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the first one. Yeah, this is from this you can see an outline about the college. We have some undergraduate programs and some 2 master programs, and later on, I'm pretty sure we will have the PhD programs too. And from the very beginning, we have our goals and mission. And for example, so move on to. So to equip the students with the international standards, to make them have the cross-cultural competence and global competitiveness, so that they could have a career in future world. So I think our aim is to train the future leaders in their fields. So, and it is also very important, we will introduce a foreign university to here and do this college in China with in the domain of the Chinese cultures. So one of the purpose, one of the mission we think is to combine Eastern cultures and philosophies with the Western ones. And of course, from the beginning, we try to keep global, innovative, and interdisciplinary, so that we make whatever plans, we will keep all of these features in mind. We make those events, those curriculum, those training plans. And also, now, so far, when we started, we have our first cohort of freshmen in 2017. And now we have about 56 full-time faculty members. But this figure is becoming bigger and bigger, I'm pretty sure. And the students on campus, there are more than 1,000. One thing I'm kind of proud of is we have now more than 1,000 graduates of 4 cohorts. And in May or June of this year, we will have the 5th cohort for the graduation. Now, as I said, we have bachelor undergraduate programs and master programs. And also about those 4 graduate students, you can see most of them move on to pursue their master degree studies. Half of them went abroad to go to overseas universities. So the destination, you can see, covers more than 10 countries. And this number is also becoming bigger and bigger. While others who just go directly for their employment, you can see a very diverse industries for their employment. I think next one should, yeah. Okay, so I think that's all about the brief introduction of this college.
Dean Wang,
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. There are many universities in the US and around the world that you could partner up with.
Yeah.
And I think on this call, there are many people from ASU on the call. So I'm going to put you on the spot. Why ASU?
Okay, ASU is, among those universities we visited or contacted, ASU was kind of the last one. And when we have the talk, especially I was in the delegation to the visit to ASU with actually that was a very high level delegation directed by led by a director from the provincial official. So when we visited ASU, we had a very strong impression that this is really what it is called itself as a new US university. Very impressive. And later on, we were also impressed by its spirit of the entrepreneurship and innovation. Just as Professor Feng mentioned just now, he once had a very big, event, and you met President Michael Crow. I think he's really a great leader, leading the ASU for so many years to a very special, a very great university. So we were happy we have this partnership from the partner from the very beginning. And I think that is why, or the main reason, just as Kelly mentioned just now, we could go so far smoothly, and we have very much confidence for our future collaboration for the next work, next development.
So I can't say mother-in-law because that's not politically correct. But when you do these types of projects, there are many in-laws involved.
Okay.
Who has many opinions. So you had to deal with in-laws outside China. You had to deal with in-laws within your institution, as well as in Hainan, as well as in China. It was I can't imagine it was a very difficult and very challenging process. Question is, why did you do it? Why did you volunteer to do this?
Okay, you know, I was also the dean of the tourism college of Hainan University. I would rather say a kind of a traditional one for many years. I have a strong feeling that our students need a wider view to see the world, but they need the opportunity. So I think this is the main reason if I could have this opportunity, I will take it to set up a kind of, I'd say it's a platform, I think, the international platform, which will hold the international programs, whatever it is, maybe different types of it, so that students can have some some special experience on this platform to make them to be exposed or to have the contact about what the international education is like. And of course, just now you mentioned the word in-laws, something interesting. Okay, yeah, I have to talk to those officials from the government. They have their, ideas. They have their ideas, they have their purpose, and they have their plans, and they have the power. They have the right to, make the decision. I have to talk to the leadership from Hainan University. I have to talk to others, like those we call it experts in this industry who have already had their experience, their ideas about how international college should be like. But now, when we say if we have this college in Hainan, we have to take so many other factors in Hainan to be into our consideration. For example, it's an international tourism destination. But Hainan is also a tropical island, which is not so much, you would say, like the same in pace with the development of the mainland China. So many things. And of course, very important that I have to talk to those from ASU because they have their curriculum standard. And now we will introduce part of the courses here and also their faculty here. And very important, I think, their teaching philosophy. The way they do their teaching method, and how, the way they make their curriculum, why they say these parts of courses are important, should be the core courses, why this can be the elective courses. So while at the same time, because this is a dual degree program, students study, the curriculum have to meet both the requirements from two universities so that they can finally have 2 degrees, which means some of the courses, you cannot really match these two to each other, or the credits can be accepted by the other side. Students have to do those courses, which means I know students have a kind of study load, heavy study load comparing to other colleges. So this will bring another challenge. In what way can we make the students study well, make full use of their time, help to do very good self-organization. So lots of work. Of course, so just now, still back to the in-laws. So by, talking to people from different, aspects, organizations, we finally have a general outline. Always, I will tell them, please remember our final goal is to set up a joint international institute. No matter whatever difficulties or challenges or embarrassers, so we have to find the solutions for those problems. I think there are lots of challenges. Long story, actually.
Well, it
Let
sounds
me,
like
before you do that, let me ask Kelly the same question in the reverse.
So ask the question in reverse.
Yes, the question is, it was mentioned that Dean Wang has to talk to all kinds of in-laws, and also learn about ASU, learn about how it matches the lifestyle, the culture, and so on of Hainan University. Let me ask the reverse, same question, but in the reverse sense. What did you do that Hainan eventually became your choice?
That's a great question. So I was the chair of a department at University of Utah. I had been doing that for a very long time, and I felt like I could slowly sink into the sunset and retire there.
Well, it is a sunset in ASU.
There is one there. Or I could challenge myself and take on something new and different. And ASU's opportunity to be a part of this international college was very intriguing to me. I have a passion for the world and for students getting engaged in the world, and I've had that for a very long time. So this seemed like a wonderful fit for me to come into this work.
Okay, very good. By the way, I just noticed we have someone called Lena Booth from the Thunderbird School. I'm sure you have lots of things to do. So to join this must mean that you're very interested in the program. Perhaps you have a question at the moment?
Actually don't have a question, but I work with Kelly and I work with Dean Wang as well, because Thunderbird is going to have a dual degree program with high, put under
What
high
has that
tech.
got to do with Thunderbird?
Say again?
What does that have to do with Thunderbird?
Well, Thunderbird is collaborating with high tech
I see.
to do a program in Hainan.
Okay.
So we're still waiting for MOE approval, but it's been something that we have worked on for at least a couple of years now. And I'm waiting to hear from Dean Wang, about the news from the MOE to see whether the program is approved. So I worked with them for quite some time. I worked with Dean Wang for probably 2 years now, and Kelly the same. And I wasn't part of the original high-tech program, but we are hoping that we will be part of the high-tech going forward.
Very good.
Okay, maybe I can say something to you, Professor Fong, about Kelly and Lena. And actually, I also have different types of conversations. After this forum, I will have another Zoom meeting with Kelly, talking about our, this is a new semester, the beginning of the semester. We got a lot of work to do. And also, when we talk about our new collaborative program with Thunderbird from ASU with Lena, I also had a very strong impression that this is a very much international. It calls itself a global global college of global management. I think it is really a kind of global college. So always when I have the talk with them and about education, our possible curriculum, what we can do with the new program, it was really pleasant talk because we share so many similar ideas, the same things. We have even the same future dream, something like future dream for our student. We all focus on the development of our student, and by doing so, we share lots of ideas. And I also learned a lot from them because they are already very international, successful college and have longer history than this new college.
Yeah, Thunderbird
Excellent.
has been around for, this year is our 79th year
Wow.
doing
Oh, wow.
international business.
Uh-huh. Okay.
We were a small private college before. 10 years ago, we joined Arizona State University. So we have been based in Arizona since 1946, right after the World War II. And about 10 years ago, in fact, just 10 years ago, January, we joined Thunderbird joined ASU to be part of Arizona State University, but we used to be private. And
Very
we
good.
have been training people to work in the global arena for a long time.
Mhm. Mhm. So
And our
far, you
program
have
with them is to launch a Bachelor of Global Management dual degree with the e-commerce from Hainan University.
excellent. So far, you have talked about the students of the program. I'm also interested to hear from all three of you, Dean Wang, Kelly,
Yeah.
and Lena. What about the faculty? Asking the faculty to think in a different form is not always easy. For example, Chinese universities are more and more interested in the so-called liberal arts education. But very few Chinese faculty members have liberal arts training. And so for them to move into a new direction, they need to re-educate themselves. In your case, do you need to not only change the student's mind about touristic education, but also faculty's mind about touristic education? Kelly, why don't you start?
Oh, thank you for that question. So I believe the faculty, when they sign on to our program, to high tech, they are fully aware of the mission, fully aware of the goals of high tech, and embrace that style of learning. Because many of them that started with us was their first appointment out of working on their doctorate degree. So that was kind of neat. But the other neat part is they believe in what they're doing. They believe in the cross-cultural component of this, and it's an adventure. And I think all of our faculty would tell you they wanted to do something different to make a contribution in the world. And I think this opportunity is quite unique in the world, very different from standard US institutions, and brings them the opportunity to be creative, innovative, and do something special for our students. So I think they buy in way before they even get to high tech, through the interview process and through recruitment.
Dean Wang, what
Yeah,
about your
yeah, yeah.
faculty?
Yes, from the very beginning, when we make the plan for this new college, we in our proposal we have a very, I think a long part, a big plan for how to for the build of this faculty team. We call about the resources, how we recruit our new faculty members. We call it 1/3 parts organization, or 1/3, 1/3 resources for the construction of the faculty team. 1/3 from the ASU, 1/3 from Hainan University, and the other 1/3 are global recruitment. So we follow this plan, I think, from the very beginning seriously. That's why we have so far now more than, I think it's about 56 or even 57 people for our faculty team, not included the staff. We have another, I think, like more than 20 staff working also for this college. I think they are playing also very important role in our college to keep everything goes on smoothly. Just as Kelly mentioned, from the very beginning, when we make the announcement, we will let the audience know what kind of college it is, what kind of people we are looking for, and what you will do, what you can do, what kind of student, what kind of courses you will teach, you will have here. So this is from the very beginning. And also, I think one of the basic requirement, all of these people should be, our working language is English. So this is a college of bilingual language environment. So even if you have a special look at the team composition, you will see our faculty members look differently. So it means their faces. So you can tell they may from different places around the world. Let me tell you, actually, their nationalities covers over 20 countries or regions, including like South Africa, sorry, not South America, like North America, like Africa, Europe countries, of course, Asia and other places like Australia, New Zealand, so many. Even our language teachers, for such kind of college, on the day the students registered into the college, they were told they will have 2 registration ID numbers. One is from ASU, one is from HNU, Hainan University. So for those, when they do the registration at the ASU universities, the system, they were exposed to English language and the system already. And so, and when even our language team, usually you would say, this is English as a working language, the college. Maybe the language teachers should be from all those English-speaking countries. No, it's not true. Because our faculty members are from different places. They speak English with different accents. This is what the real world is like. So when we do the language teaching to our students, we try to be the similar.
Even Americans speak English with an accent.
Okay, yes, sure. The same thing happens to all languages. As Chinese, we speak Chinese standard 普通话 with different accents. So you can see even the language teachers are from different countries, from India, from where? From Singapore, from Ireland, from Italy, from Romania.
Wow.
From India, or what? From Iran. So from Russia. So I was really impressed by their very professional teaching because they have their academic background of applied linguistics. So they have their own experiences. And they came here with different education background, different personal story, different family, different culture, different native languages. So they share all of their stories. They bring their stories and share their stories to the students to help the students to understand, to know what the real critical thinking means, and to help the students to see issues from different angles, different perspectives. And I think another very important thing is to to tell the students the world is big. They can explore based on their real interest. What they really want to do, they can go and have a try, because those faculty, those teachers, instructors are already good examples. And also we like to invite people, not just from the academic background, but also from the industry, like David Chun, who once worked in New York in the Wall Street and had his personal experience, very rich, and now working in Hainan. So he himself is a very good example for our students to think about themselves, what they can do, what they will do in future.
Very good. I think we have one of your teachers online, Dr. Yarin Park. Are you still there?
Yuan Park.
Are you still there?
Yes. Oh my God.
I like to
I'm
hear
suddenly
what
called
the
in.
teachers have to say now that I heard the bosses.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak here. Yes, I greatly appreciate having this opportunity. Yes, so it's my fourth semester now at high tech.
And you're speaking English with a Korean accent, right?
Oh, yes, I believe so. Yes, I believe so. It's my fourth semester here, and I teach public service and public policy related courses like principles of political science, nonprofit management, government and politics, public budgeting and finance.
Wow.
And it's been a great, wonderful journey so far. It's been a great learning experience for me as well. So this is not my first placement, actually, after obtaining the doctoral degree. So I have working experience in multilateral development bank and also public research institution and bilateral donor agency. So my background was like mostly international development. And now I am transitioned into academia, which has been a great journey, especially starting here at high tech. Has been a great experience. It's been a great learning experience, from all the students and also from other colleagues, other faculty members. So, for example, it's been very inspiring to learn from other faculty members on how they actually integrate new cutting edge technology into their teaching approaches. So it's been a great experience so far.
Fantastic. Okay, David, back to you.
Okay. One of the things that Dean Wang spoke about is that there was a gap, sort of where you need to be globally competitive and where your students were.
Yeah.
And the way to narrow the gap was to do this joint program. And it's been around for a few years. You produce a lot of graduates, and graduates, just based on some of the slides that you were sharing, seems like they're doing well. So once again, I'm going to put you on the spot. What caused or what drove the success of this program? Why was it successful?
So far, you may say it is successful. We move on. We always, each year, we have our new plan and new programs to do, new events to do. For example, in January of this year, that was January. Yes, January of this year, we had a very international conference, which has very special impact in the field. So, and I think more and more we will have those international events. Actually, from the very beginning, we all know that when students graduate from their high school and they move on, they entered into the university, that is a very big step in their life. They even leave their families, they leave their parents, they leave the place where they were familiar with and go to a new place go to a new university to meet with new people, new friends, new faculty, which would be very much different from what they had before. While at the same time, you know, everybody can see the world changes so fast now, too fast. So we were not surprised that there are surprising things happens every day. Maybe used to be surprised, oh, something new. Like we said, Google, what is called the dog? From the Google, what was it? They play the chess. They beat the human beings. They won. But now we were not surprised for all of those things for the new technology. So we can see, I would say, we have that is always, of course, the front, you know, edge or front part for in terms of the knowledge or new technology, which means we call it as a global level here. While our students, when they left their high school and they go to the university, and maybe they're here. So they will spend 4 years in our college, at least 4 years. So how we can, what we can do to make the students to grow, you know, to meet with a faster development, the changing of this world. In one word is, in what way can we get the student be ready for their new career to go into the society when they leave the college? So the first thing I think is to set up to make them bilingual. This is very important. And also to let them know the diversity of this world, to have an open mind for the world, so that I always say you should be the people without any without ceilings in your development. So if you want to go out, just try it. So that's why half of our graduates, they move on. Half our students, when they graduate, they move on to pursue their master's study or even PhD studies to the overseas universities around the world. I think they set up, they know they can try whatever they want. So to get them be ready in language, first the bilingual, and then second to try to provide the real world experience to them. So that's why we also invite those speakers to our courses, to our classes, just as Kelly mentioned. When we find or look for those speakers, we prefer those speakers also have a good mindset, the open mindset, their own awareness about the world, about the diversity of culture, so that they can pass on what they and their understanding about the world to the students. So many students also mentioned about these experiences they have in their class from their instructors. I think, and also we highly encourage our students to, if they like, they can organize events on campus. Of course, they make their proposals, a plan. They find someone to give a review, like someone like the instructors or even some staffs of the college. So the college will give them the necessary support, including the financial support.
I think Dean Kelly mentioned earlier something about research as being one of the sort of the cornerstones of the program here.
Oh, yes.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Because I think it is actually very vital for their future growth and development.
Yeah, yeah. Also, you know, research always plays a very important part in one person's career development. So because both ASU and Hainan University, other university of research. So we focus a lot on the teaching and the training about research. We teach and train or educate our students to conduct research. For example, take the the graduation thesis writing as an example. We developed it into a kind of course. So from the beginning to get the students between the step by step. And of course, they have their advisors. So, and we also have our system for students who were interested in academic research from the beginning. If they like, they can apply, they can find a faculty or instructor who also interested in teach the student or take the student to do some research work. So you will see some of our students before their graduation, while they were still in their undergraduate study, they've already got some papers published in some international journals. Some of them are already now in their master study in the overseas. I know in our first two cohorts of the graduation, some of them already move on to their PhD studies.
So you had undergrad students' research being published on international journals?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
an
question.
accomplishment.
Kelly has a question.
No, I was waving goodbye to Lena. She has to leave.
Hi.
Thank you
Thank
for
you. I have to go
joining.
to a class, but thank
Okay.
you for having me. I'm here to support Kelly and Dean Wang, so all the best. Thank you so much.
Let me ask,
Thank you. Thank
Kelly,
you,
you're
Lena.
muted. You're muted. Kelly, you're muted.
Yes, because I'm not talking.
I'd like to ask both of you, both Dean Wang and Kelly. You talk about your faculty and how the development of your how important it is, your faculty, and how internationalized your faculty backgrounds are. What about as we all know, technology, especially artificial intelligence now, is everywhere. How is artificial intelligence play a role in the tourist education? And two, how do you make sure your faculty can interact with your technology faculty, which both universities have very strong technology people? How do you encourage that? Kelly, maybe start with you.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. So, it's just come on like a storm, right? In the
It's a
last
ball
2
of fire,
years.
as they say.
Woo, yeah. So we are actively thinking about how to integrate that into the classroom. ASU provides several workshops and materials and resources for our faculty to engage with. We also have a couple of faculty that are really interested in how to incorporate AI into the classroom and are doing so actively and doing workshops with other faculty to demonstrate that it can be a tool for faculty to utilize with students in the classroom. So I would say on all fronts, it's not going away. And so we're encouraging more training, more education, more getting workshops integrated to show how unique ways people are actually incorporating it into the classroom environment. In fact, we had a delegation from China, of which Dean Wang was a part, come over to ASU, and they met with our education arm of the AI technology to talk about ideas and how to integrate it into the educational system.
Yes, it was a very impressive meeting then when we meet with those people at ASU from the AI company. Okay.
The same question to you, Dean Wang.
Yes, here, now I think there's a word which we call DeepSeek. It's now so popular a word. Even Hainan, some universities here, at least in two universities, even just from Hainan province, announced now they have the DeepSeek technology deeply involved with the university's system. So they will help the student to buy so many things. I cannot really tell about it in one by one, but apparently everyone, or especially the student, the faculty who are now, working in this field of to get new knowledge to the world, to devote to the world, and also from the world. So the new technology, the AI technology, is something we cannot avoid. And also, I'm not really. I'm also kind of confident about this, because young people, they are always, I think, more sensitive than people like us to to embrace, to use, even to invent the new technology. So I think what important for us as educators to get the students more ready in the way of thinking, how to, like in Chinese we say, 授之以鱼不如授之以渔. So you can, send someone the fish, but better teach someone how to fish. I think this is more important. And also another thing is give the students, for me, I think it's also important how to keep the balance of those things. So for example, the new college, the new technology, yes, it is good, something very positive, but there should be something they should take into their consideration any possible, negative things, or they have to be care to be concerned. I think this is also important for us as education institution to get our students be ready for everything, like how to make things in a balanced way so that we can develop better for the future world. I think this is something we have, I think, more holistic thing in our mind.
Holistic.
Yeah.
As a moderator, I have to give Dr. Feng a yellow card, because inviting people a discussion on AI and education could be a separate multi-day seminar or conference.
No, actually, my question is not about artificial intelligence. I would like to use artificial intelligence to talk about the mindset of young people and faculty. I have a feeling that in our educational systems now, the faculty is moving at a pace that is different from the young people moving pace.
Wow.
And I think it's very, very clear that you can see that for a long, long time, countries like China, for example, we always want to send our students abroad so that they can open to the world and see the world. In the reverse side, by the way, I live in the United States. I don't see young people going abroad. For example, when a young kid graduates from American high school, he or she will automatically apply to great universities like ASU, for example. He or she will never consider any other universities outside of the United States. Maybe Canada and in England, at least they speak English there. Otherwise, they just not on their radar screen. This open-mindedness in creating the kind of international program that you are developing maybe is exactly what is needed in the world today. What do you think, Kelly?
I couldn't agree with you more. I wouldn't be in this position. I think we need to keep lines of communication open between the world. And our students is a very positive way, a conduit for international relations, for future relations that all of our countries will engage in. So I believe our mission right now is more important than it ever has been in the
Absolutely.
world today, and fully support what we're doing.
Dean Wang?
Yeah. Yes, I totally agree with Kelly. To get our students be more ready and not just to use AI as a tool to full their assignment, right? To finish their assignment, they should have their own mind. So this is, I think, even the mission, as Kelly mentioned, of the educator, of the education institution, to let the student know how to be more competitive, what kind of people will be those in a more competitive way in the future world. I think this is very important. And I am happy that such kind of a college, international joint college like us, are becoming more and more popular in China. So which means among the students and also their parents. I think one of the reasons is the graduates of our college, when they came back, talk to their friends, their old classmates, their parents. So they were found, they were noticed by their people and friends that some challenges happen to them to make them apparently to be more competitive. So they would say, what kind of university education you have, which university it is, what kind of college it is. Some students who, after they graduated from our college, they went abroad and then they came back and they told me they felt lucky that they had their undergraduate study in China, but in an international joint college like this, the studying experience here have already made them or give them a broad mind, so that when they went out to other countries, they've already had some kind of like a cultural difference awareness. And by having this awareness, they also had a very, I think, proper cross-cultural communication ability to people from different cultures, give them special experience. They tell me, we love our college. We hope to see this college develop well all the time. So this is something I think why this international collaboration, education collaboration is now highly encouraged in China and also in Hainan. We were the first international joint college, but we were not the only one now, although we are still the only one who has already had our own graduations. But you will see later on in Hainan province, there are more and more international colleges like this. Oh yeah, because if you say this is a successful one. In last year, we won the award of the top 20 excellent examples or excellent international joint colleges in China. So this is I think I'm kind of happy to share with you. This is I think a good reward to so many people who to our college, and also those people who have been supporting to us. It's not just me, actually. There are so many other people behind our college who have been working for it. Our staff, our faculty, those people from the government, from the industry, also very important support from our leadership, the university leadership of 2 universities. They are very much supportive. I really felt appreciation for all what I have so far.
So I'm mindful of time. We're approaching 70 minutes. So I have one more question for both Dean Linda and Dean Kelly. I'm going to give you a little time to think about the answer. On a scale 1 to 10, 1 being like the least international and 10 being the most international, I want to hear from both of you. Where's high tech?
Kelly, okay, you want me to say? I'd rather to say we are in the middle, like a 5,
Five.
I think,
Okay.
5, yeah.
Kelly?
I was going to say a 6
6.
because I think each
5 or 6.
year, but I think we're in the middle. I think that's a good place to think about us because there's so much more we can
Yes.
do, right?
So-
Yes.
And
That's a segue into my next question. To go from 5 or 6 to 9 or 10, what do you two have to do to accomplish that? What has to happen here?
I think this is what we are doing now to make the college to move on to. I don't think we can be 10. We'll be always the way to 10. Maybe 8 or 9 in a
8 or 9 is good.
okay, but quite a few years later, maybe
Well,
I
what is
can.
missing? What is missing that you are not 8 or 9 now?
Yeah, this is so Kelly, you want to say? And I say we are, you know, for example, we do some new adoption to our curriculum so that those new knowledge, new ideas, new concept, new even technology can be, you know, involved into our courses just on time, timely. And also we will have more international event. Bigger and bigger, you know, even the level is higher and higher. And we do more strategic plan to design with a purpose to make our students exposed always in a very global way, and also to get them to have the real experience in a real industry while they are still studying here. I think this is something we really got a lot of work to do.
Kelly?
yeah, I would say when every student can walk out of high tech fluent in English, fluent in their understanding completely, 100% that they could teach English. That would be fully international, as well as having international students come to high tech campus.
Oh,
I would like to, in my tenure, I know I'm with Dean Wong in saying this, we would like to see students from all over the world participate in Hainan and high tech. So that's those two indicators for me are, you know, when we're not having to interpret posters in an elevator, when students come in ready and willing to fully embrace a dual language scenario, as well as when we get students from all over the world coming to see us and learn from high tech.
Yes, that's a very good point, Kelly. Apart, you know, from the beginning, maybe Chinese students are our main body of the college. But gradually, if you really want to be, you know, international, to be global, to be diversity, apart from the international faculty members, we should also have more international students. Yes, our next like a strategic plan, one part very important work is to make a bigger announcement, and we hope to do a lot more promotion about the enrollment of the international students.
I love
What
giving
needs
home.
to be done to encourage more American students to join in this program? You mentioned earlier that when a student graduates from your program, they should be bilingual, English and Chinese. But to ask an American student to be bilingual in English and Chinese is not trivial. But if that is the goal, that is a fantastic goal.
Or I would say their native language and English, right? So that we can truly communicate together. Unfortunately for me, unfortunately for many students, the English is an important global
Yes, it is.
approach, right?
It is.
I do empathize with learning a whole new language, and I know how difficult it is. But if we could have students being bilingual in their native tongue as well as a global language, maybe it'll change one day, but right now it appears to be English, then I think that'll be a wonderfully successful ideal to strive for.
As a Korean American from New York, living and working in Hainan, one of the things that is actually very important, and you touched upon it, is appreciation and acceptance for diverse cultural factors. I think in some ways that has a very important weight, just as language. So we use the word bilingual a lot, but we don't use bicultural or multicultural all that much. And I think there's a sort of a built-in bias towards language versus culture, because and yet at the same time, in order to sort of create and teach and produce global leaders, you have to be multiculturally competent.
Yes.
And so I'm glad the two of you talked about that point and stressed that point, and maybe that's important. To wrap things up, I want to give all three of you 2 minutes of talk time to wrap this up. And I'm going to do this in this order. Kelly, Dean Wang, and Dr. Fang. So to close out, and then after the speakers finish, if there are any questions from the participants, then we could field them. Kelly, 2 minutes.
Okay. I don't know what that feels like being an instructor, 2 minutes, but I'll give it a go. I think today the world faces very critical challenges, right? Wicked challenges is what some say in the language that's used. I think the only way we're going to solve these wicked challenges is through multicultural solutions. There is no one dominant culture that knows every answer, and it's that integration of creativity, diverse backgrounds that creates a wonderful world to live in. And I'm thrilled to be a part of high tech as a place that can happen. Interdisciplinary, multicultural, and international is a way we're going to solve these problems. So thank you.
Yeah, okay. Following what Kelly says, first agree with what she said, and also, as the dean of the college, I would say it is our responsibility. It is the responsibilities of the education institutions to train and teach the students to be the global leaders in future. So to this end, we need more, or we should pay more attention to collecting and sharing our experiences and ideas or information as how to do it in a more effective way, more effectively. And also to add another word, something like a promotion about our college. So if anyone who need students to be very or super motivated, self-motivated as your interns, please contact us.
Dr. Fang?
Oh, well, I after Dean Kelly and Dean Wang, I really don't have much to say. It is clear to all the educators, and I count myself as an educator. I've been a professor, then a university administrator for over 40 years. I see how important education is today more than ever. Many, many years ago, I remember I grew up in Singapore, And when I went to the airport to fly to the United States for the first time in 1964, and you can see all the parents crying, seeing their children getting on flights going to the United States or wherever in Europe and so on. The reason is because in all likelihood, they may not see them for a long, long time, if at all. That has changed. Chinese students now come to the United States in September, and by the time it gets to Thanksgiving, they're already back in China to spend some time in China. So that movement of change is moving so fast. Society is changing, may not fast enough to handle this rapidity. And I think that it is your college is the prime example of how education needs to be conducted in the 21st century, for the rest of the century, not just now, but for the rest of the century. Imagine what it's going to be like when we turn the end of this century. What is the world is going to be like? And well, I'm not going to be around. You guys will be, but I wouldn't be around. But you can see that if we're not ready for this change, we'll be having all kinds of problems more and more. So I think this is one of the reasons when I got to know Dean Wang, and now, of course, I had the pleasure of knowing Dean Kelly, Kelly Bricker, actually, Dean Bricker, knowing Kelly, that I see that there is hope in education. The hope that there are people from both ends of the world, almost 10,000 miles apart, can speak the same tone, not the same language. Yeah, you're speaking the same language, but you're speaking the same tone of education and wanting to provide students with the same level of understanding of the world in the 21st century. I think I see some hope there. You know, in recent years, you don't see a lot of hope, but tonight I saw hope. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any, I think we have time for maybe one or two questions. Are there any questions from the participants? If you could sort of identify yourself and ask questions. And usually in these
I think
large,
they are
large
exhausted. They are
yeah,
exhausted
in
now.
large settings, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
So thank you all for participating.
Especially, I
we-
want to thank both of you, Dean Wang and Dean Kelly. I think the fact that originally we have Dean Wang only, and then some through all these activities, Kelly joined in, and now we have two hands clapping. And I think it is so good that the clapping is so loud and so clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
So we will send out the video through YouTube when it's ready,
Okay.
Okay.
and let the
Thank you.
world see it.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice day there. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.